Cantin's report. Vaghen, November 28, 2005. Dear Mrs. Foster, according to my latest information, Kate Walker has lost that automaton of hers she calls Oscar. By all accounts it happened during her visit to the Muller antique shop. Given that she's also now mourning her mother and her co-inmate, I'm beginning to wonder if Miss Walker brought some kind of curse upon herself when she fled with the late Monsieur Vorarlberg nearly 3 years ago. It might seem a bit far-fetched, but there's a term I once heard at a conference by my favorite crime writer, and it keeps popping into my head whenever I think of Kate Walker. In a word, hubris. It describes the arrogance and excessive pride of a person that leads them to disregard the divinely fixed limits, and by seeking to avoid a tragic destiny, the person ends up by provoking it. I guess it's like a cruel twist of fate, like that which seems to be striking Kate Walker. She fled her old life, and yet, after all these misfortunes, her old life must seem more present and full of regrets than ever. But anyway, Miss Walker is still on her unlikely quest to find the woman in the picture she found in that mine. My guess is she's thrown herself into this new quest to escape from her grief. Her Muller from the antique shop told me he sent Miss Walker to the Silberspiegel Refuge in the mountains near Vaghen. I'll be heading out there as soon as I can. Miss Walker only has a few days head start. She may well still be there by the time I arrive.
Pretty sure that's a bad idea. Tempting, though. When was the last time anyone was here? Not exactly welcoming. I'd better find a way to the refuge. No one here. Hardly surprising. Thanks, but no thanks. Ah, how nice. The refuge must have been a popular destination for vacationers. It's so beautiful, so calm. what am I doing here? Well, they say bad things come in threes. First Mother's death, then poor Katusha, and now Oscar. I can't believe I've lost him again. Am I doomed or what? Thank goodness I've still got the girl in the painting. Something to hang my hopes on. But maybe I'm just kidding myself. And why me? Why not Katusha? Why did she have to die? It's like this painting has chosen me. Oh, it's a beautiful place. Don't know what I expect to find here, though. Yet somehow it feels right. Can't say why. I mean, why am I so sure this mountain refuge has anything to do with the painting? Maybe I'm just a hopeless optimist or a lost dreamer. I guess there's only one way to find out. Herr Müller was right. It's quite a walk to the refuge. Well, I guess the sooner I head out, the sooner I get there. Bit too close to the edge, if you ask me. I should find a safer spot. Wow, what a fantastic view. I should try and find a better spot to admire it from. That is stunning. If what I read about the region is true, Switzerland should be nearby, on the other side of those mountains. Oh man, I guess that's the refuge, way over there. Oh well, better get going. I better be careful here. Too many fallen trees and wobbly rocks for my liking. What the hell was that? Now, what do we have here? In memory of all mountain resistance fighters. It doesn't look old at all. Too bad I can't take a break. That would have been a nice place to sit for a minute. Looks like all sorts of wild animals live in these mountains. Hiking tips? Thanks, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Well, that was one heck of a walk. Oh, come on. A ladder now? Okay, let's just do this. Pretty sure there must be another way. Oof. Finally. Oh. That must provide energy to the refuge. I've seen that before. That must be it. Now I should try to find a matching point somewhere. Those sharp peaks, they look exactly the same. Just what I was looking for. Perfect. That rock wall. It can't be a coincidence. Wow. Hardly changed at all.
Breathtaking, isn't it, Fräulein?
Beautiful.
It is called the Silberspiegel, our local pride.
Judging from my painting, it wasn't that different 60 years ago. Ma'am, is everything all right?
Yes. It's just that you look very much like the person in the picture, Fräulein.
So, you do know her then, don't you?
Can't say I don't, but it was a very long time ago.
Actually, I've come a very long way to find out about her. I would really like to know who she is, or was. It's very important to me, you see.
And why is that, Fräulein?
I made a promise to a friend who happened to save my life before losing her own.
I see. By the way, what is your name?
Oh, Walker. Kate Walker.
I am Lenny Renner.
Nice to meet you, Frau Lenny.
Demoiselle, my dear. My legs never did manage to get me to church in time.
Oh, Demoiselle Lenny.
Well, Fräulein Walker, 1937, you say? Ah, that was before the war, when I could still run like the fawn wind. Father was the manager in those days. It was one summer evening that the whole story of your painting began. I remember it like it was yesterday. A group of scientists were staying at the refuge to prepare for an expedition to some faraway place in the east. They were being trained by a local alpinist who was to guide them. His name was Leon Kubatis. Oh, handsome as a Greek god he was. And an Olympic champion, no less. Very popular with the ladies. And he was lovely to me. Would give me a wink and a smile whenever I served him his beer. "Thank you, Demoiselle Lenny," he would say. In French, if you please. Made me feel like a proper little madam. But then Frau Junta would always shoo me away.
Frau Junta?
Must have been in her mid-20s. But of course, to me, she was an old hag, past it. And I didn't like the way she bossed my Leon around with that camera of hers. The refuge was buzzing. Everyone was jolly, and the scientists were there, debating as usual about this and that. A cheerful bunch, really, despite their disputes. Except, that is, for one. Frank Hoss was his name. Preferred his own company. Though I could see, even with my young eyes, he was devious as the devil.
But what about the girl in the picture?
Well, she was there that evening too. She had come to work through the summer. Her name was Dana Rose. Ah, she was as cute as a button and well-mannered with it. Even father was sweet as a lamb to her.
Take care of the scientist drinks, then go round taking orders. And have a look at the stove while you're at it.
Yes, Herr Gustav.
Will you be all right now, Dana? It's the first busy night since you started, so just ask if there's anything you need to know. All right, my lovely?
Thank you, Herr Gustav, but it looks pretty straightforward. I'll be fine.
That's the girl. Off you trot then, my lovely. Keep smiling, and you'll have them carrying your tray for you.
I need to serve those drinks to the scientists.
Dana's Diary. Vaghen, June 21st, 1937. Hooray, end of school. The year seemed like a walk in the park compared to the spring concert, though. It was so nerve-wracking, so glad it's over. Glad for the break, although already I can't wait for the new year at the Music Academy to begin. Father says I'll have to pay my way now, though. That's why I shall soon be starting my summer job at Herr Gustav's Refuge in the Silberspiegel mountain. The pay isn't exactly great, but it will still help toward my studies. And besides, I get full board and lodging and bowlfuls galore of fresh air. Mum doesn't stop lecturing me about how good it will be for my lungs. I suspect she exaggerates my illness, though, so she can keep me under her wing like a mother goose. But I keep it under my hat. This is no time to be upsetting my parents, they have enough on their plate at the moment. First of all, there's the money, or rather, the lack of it. My parents' shop isn't doing as well as it used to, that's for sure. And I can see that my poor old dad, who couldn't put aside as much money as his friend and one-time partner, Herr Zimmer, feels humiliated that I have to work to pay for my studies. And then there's the persecution by the brown shadow against my parents and our neighbors. It seems to be getting worse these past weeks. I even overheard my parents whispering about a possible accession to power of this dreadful party. It's all the more worrying as their influence is not only growing in Osterthal, but also all over Europe, and even the world over. I've never really been interested in politics, but one thing I know is that this can't be good news for anyone. Vaghen, July 7th, 1937. No time to write now. So much to do at the refuge. Tiring but very interesting. So relieved Herr Gustav is so kind to me. Can't say the same for his daughter, Lenny, though. But maybe we just need time to get to know each other, soon see. Anyway, better run. New customers arriving for the summer. Quite a little group too. Scientists training for an expedition if I understand rightly. And they're coming with their guide and even a famous filmmaker. No rest for the weary.
What a strange mechanism. It reminds me of the automatons on the musical square. The keg's empty. I need to change it. That should be it. Let's serve these gentlemen now.
No, we'll have to go higher, I'm telling you.
But my point is that it's highly improbable that any primate will be able to survive so high up, let alone thrive.
And if they were thriving, we wouldn't be looking for them, would we? I say they've taken to the higher ground, and they only come down to steal livestock and game. Look out, chaps.
Gentlemen, your drinks?
Ah, good on you, lassie. Horst, make yourself useful and pass these around. First day, is it? Better make a wish then.
All right, I will. I wish you would tell me what all those maps are for.
Ah, that I can grant you. They show all the different locations of an expedition we're planning.
I see you haven't come just for the view then.
Oh no, Fraulein. We're only here for the beer and a pretty smile. That's our trainer out there. Supposed to knock this scraggly lot into shape for the big climb in Baltayar.
Right. And what's that one of, if you don't mind me asking?
That is Baltayar, a remote region in the mountains of northern China. That's where I'll be leading my team in a couple of weeks.
And what's this expedition for?
Well, keep it to yourself, but the code name is Origin. And if I have my way, it will likely change the way we perceive humanity.
And what about you, gentlemen?
Well, let me introduce you to my dream team. Horst Sauer, talented anthropologist and frequent but worthy pain in the ass to your mother. Rudolf Jäger, distinguished ethnologist. And last but not least, Albert Bauer,
paleontologist.
And yourself?
Reinhard Berger, biologist.
As Herr Berger says, we're here to train for the Origin expedition.
In return for funding for our own projects back home.
And for the love of science, eh, Horst?
Oh, yes, of course, Herr Berger. I'm sure none of us would be here otherwise, would we?
And what about you, my lovely?
Oh, I'm Dana. I'm working here during the holidays, that's all. I'm curious to know what this Origin expedition is all about, though. If it's not top secret, that is.
Put it this way, Fraulein Dana. When we discover what we're looking for, you will no doubt remember this conversation as your claim to fame. You will tell your grandchildren that you served the Origin team, the team that discovered none other than the missing link of the superior race of humans, the Australopithecus habilis, the direct ancestor of Homo sapiens. Or, more vulgarly put, the abominable snowman.
Oh, I see. Now I get why it's called Origin.
Whatever we find, whatever we call it, it's likely to send shockwaves all through the world of anthropology. It will help us to explain how we evolved from Australopithecus to modern man, and then became...
He's off again. Get him started on anthropology and he's like a bolted horse. I don't think Fraulein Dana wants you to clobber her with your explanations, Horst.
I might only be a waitress, but actually I find it quite interesting.
Well, Fräulein, the Origin expedition could lead us to a totally new series of studies, or even reveal a new mode of tribal organization, or a micro-society, by the discovery of a specimen that may well have played a major role in the evolution of modern man.
Come, gentlemen, here's to the Brown Shadow for generously sponsoring this expedition, which is sure to redefine our understanding of mankind.
Oh, I see we're fraternizing with the personnel, gentlemen.
Just giving a toast to our generous sponsor, Herr Hers.
May I remind you that this mission, financed by my party, is confidential? Do you know what that means, Dr. Berger?
Yes, Herr Hers.
It means, gentlemen, it is strictly forbidden to communicate any details or objectives to anyone outside our circle, let alone to the first waitress to come by twinkling her eyelashes. Fraulein, as soon as you're done here, I suggest you get back to your chores.
What a brute.
That is one of the inconveniences of working with a heavily politicized private sponsor. But he's just doing his job. And I suppose, like anything else in life, there has to be some compromise to get what one desires. So, think nothing of it, Fraulein. It is the way of science. Indeed, it is the way of the world.
I suppose it is the way of the world, Herr Berger. Thank you, gentlemen, for telling me about your expedition. But I must get back to work.
Right, my lovely. Pop out, take the orders on the terrace, and then we can take a breather.
Those paintings. I think Herr Gustav wanted me to help him choose the one he should buy. He must have left me a note somewhere.
Dana, I've a little favor to ask of you. Young Leon, the alpinist, is trying to fob me off with one of his paintings. Does them in his spare time. I grant you that they might not be masterpieces, but they're well painted. At least, I can see what they are, and I would be dead chuffed to hand one up on my wall. Besides, Leon's a decent lad and brings in the customers. So I thought, as your father sells them, and I know sod all, I'd ask you to choose. Thanks for helping. Gustav.
I should take a closer look at those paintings before choosing one. I think I'll pick this one.
A bit more to the side, darling, please.
Lenny, sweetheart,
Crikey, you nearly made me jump out of my skin.
what have you got there?
Oh, it's a camera lens, that's all.
A camera lens.
Yeah. Borrowed it from Frau Junta.
Who is this Frau Junta anyway?
Ginger Junta, over there.
She married?
Oh no, too old to marry now. She's way past 20, you know. That's why she likes filming Leon, because he's young and handsome.
Lenny?
And she never lets me have a go of her gear anyway. I only wanted to help her film something. I bet she's jealous.
Lenny, what's so special about Frau Junta's equipment that makes you want to steal it?
borrow it.
All right, borrow it.
Can't you see? Who would be interested in Ginger Yunta if she didn't have a camera, huh? She's too old for Leon. She uses it so she can be the centre of attention, you know.
Is that what you want?
No, not exactly. Besides, there's nothing to do here.
I do understand, Lenny, but...
No, you don't. Feels like a prison here sometimes, all on my own. When I grow up, I'll live at the top of a building in the big city, and I'll have a swimming pool on my roof.
Believe me, I do understand, Lenny. Because of my coughing fits, I've sometimes had to stay in my room for weeks on end. Imagine that, nothing to see but the same four walls.
Oh, right. Must have been pretty tough, I guess.
That's why I took up the piano. Do you like doing anything special, Lenny?
I suppose I like making stuff with Papa. He's got ever such clever hands. But he's always so busy in the summer.
Let's be friends then, shall we?
You won't tell on me then?
Not now that we're friends.
You promise?
I promise.
Come on, Leon. Show me your energy, your youth. Oh dear, you look more like my old Aunt Helga.
Another creation of Herr Gustav. I guess he won't mind if I take a quick look. Madonna laces. The Silberspiegel, the heart-shaped rock face that gave its name to the refuge. According to Herr Gustav, only the most seasoned alpinists can climb it. The highest peak in the region. Little Lenny said that it's the keeper of the border with Switzerland, and that it's supposed to feed on the souls of those who have been swept away by the mountain. This path leads to Switzerland. One needs to be guided by an alpinist to go through it, though. The Devil Pass starts here. The end of the road for an inexperienced hiker like me, I guess.
No, we can do better.
It's a beautiful evening. Mother was right about the pure air up here. Everything seems so right, so utterly clear. I'm so thrilled. My first job. I'll be able to earn enough until September to pay for a new year of study at the music academy. I'm truly looking forward to it. Everything seems to be working out at last. I feel like this is a turning point in my life. Just imagine, one day, Dana Rose, concert pianist.